Are you the kind of person who enjoys a good scare? A lot of people seek out the chance to see a ghost or experience some kind of paranormal phenomena. And there's no better place to do that than a century-old hotel so spooky it inspired a critically acclaimed horror movie. Colorado's Stanley Hotel has quite a bit of unnerving history to it, which may be why so many of the guests experience unexplainable, eerie occurrences. Now, with a storied past littered with odd and spooky moments, only the bravest thrill-seekers dare to stay there. In the remote mountains of Colorado lies the Stanley Hotel. At first glance, it's an impressively large and well-maintained inn that can house a variety of guests and events. Once you learn the history, however, you realize just how creepy it actually is. The story of the Stanley Hotel began in 1903 when American inventor Freeland Oscar Stanley, founder of the carpet cleaning service company Stanley Steamers, landed on his deathbed with a severe case of tuberculosis. Following medical advice, he and his wife ventured out to Colorado for the therapeutic mountain air. After a few calm weeks, Freeland became bored of the rural living. So he and his wife, who had a lot of money, designed a massive 48-room Georgian mansion on 160 acres of land, complete with lavish luxuries to attract guests. When their vision was completed and finally opened to the public in 1909, people took interest in it. Snagging a room at the Stanley was a sign of wealth, and everyone who wanted to flaunt their finances showed up. Indeed, business at the Stanley Hotel business was booming right from the start. Soon after its grand opening, however, guests reported unusual things happening. Guests frequently heard strange noises echoing through the winding halls and empty corridors. Many left with an eerie feeling, but it wasn't until a popular author stayed overnight in the 70s that the hotel truly developed its frightening reputation. Stephen King, his wife Tabitha, and their son sought refuge in the hotel one wintry evening. They were the only guests in the entire place, which was creepy on its own. But what happened to King while he slept truly chilled him to the bone. In the dead of night, a nightmare haunted King. A demonic presence was chasing his son all throughout the halls of the hotel. Even after waking, King couldn't shake the horrible feeling, and he turned his experience into perhaps his most popular novel, The Shining. The room King and his family stayed in was number 217, which was changed to 237 in the film adaptation of his book. But there was an actual sinister history to room 217, which may have explained King's terrifying ordeal. In 1911, 2 years after the hotel opened, there was a severe gas leak in the room unbeknownst to any of the hotel staff. The head housekeeper went in, lit a candle, and was killed instantly when the gas exploded. Her spirit allegedly never left the room. But room 217 is not the only area of the hotel said to be haunted. Many visitors claim to have heard the music of a piano coming from the concert hall, even though the room was empty. Some even swore they saw the piano's keys moving on their own. There's also an entity known as Paul, who apparently haunts the hallways of the hotel. He was once an employee whose job it was to ensure guests followed the 11 p.m. curfew. People claimed to hear the words "Get out" murmured after dark. One of the spookiest presences said to roam the hotel corridors is a 13-year-old girl named Lucy. As the story goes, she ran away from home and hid in the basement of the hotel. When employees found her, they tossed her out into the cold, and she froze to death. Need proof of Lucy? Well, this was a picture taken by a hotel guest named Stephanie Rydell. What looks like a small girl dressed in pink standing in front of the wall, but Stephanie adamantly denied there was ever a young girl on her hotel tour that day. Here's another unsettling photo taken by a family from Aurora, Colorado during one of the hotel's spirit tours. You can clearly see the shape of a young girl dressed in white walking down the grand staircase. The family swears the girl wasn't there when they snapped the picture. Of course, all the sightings of apparent ghosts and other worldly energies do little to deter guests from booking rooms. People from all over flock to the Stanley to hopefully get a dose of the excitement and the scares it offers. The hotel completely embraces the fact it was the basis for The Shining. Decorating the walls of every room are stills from the movie and artwork dedicated to Stanley Kubrick's terrifying vision. In fact, every Halloween, the hotel hosts a massive costume party anyone can attend. Everyone dresses up to the nines and parties all night long. It's a fantastically fun way to honor America's most haunted hotel. Both Stephen King and Stanley Kubrick helped the Stanley Hotel become a massive tourist attraction. If the spirit of Freeland Oscar Stanley does in fact watch over the premises, it makes you wonder what he thinks of everything. Are you the kind of person who likes to get spooked? There are plenty of haunted locations throughout the country, but if you're looking for the place that inspired a classic horror movie and gave the meaning to the term red rum, there's only one Stanley Hotel.